This is a critical reasoning question in which certain statistics have been given about the voters who voted in the 2014 general elections. The question asks us to identify an option which is true according to the given statistics. Option A. At least half of the women voters supported the incumbent Prime Minister. The paragraph says that 2/3 of the total voters supported the incumbent pro-women Prime Minister. If we assume that all the men voted for the Prime Minister, then 41% of the total voters, that is 100 minus 59, 41% of the total voters voted for the Prime Minister. To make it 2/3, that is 66% or 67%, the rest will be 25 or 26% of voters, which would be women. So we cannot say that all 59% of the voters, that is the women population, supported the incumbent Prime Minister. Option B. The incumbent pro-women Prime Minister received stronger support from the female voters than from the male voters. This option also cannot be deduced from the paragraph because it is quite possible that all the male voters voted for the Prime Minister while only 25 or 26% of women voted for the Prime Minister. Option C. There was no other candidate in the elections who received more than 30% of all the votes. Let us assume that there were only 2 candidates in the election. If that is so, then the Prime Minister won by 67% of votes and the other candidate must have got 33% of votes. In that case, there is a candidate in the election who has received more than 30% of all the votes. So option C will also be incorrect. Option D. 41% of all voters in the general elections were male and none of them were 85 years old. Definitely 41% of the voters in general elections were male because 59% were women. So the remaining, that is 41%, were male. The age of the voters has been given as between 19 and 79. So definitely there was no voter who was aged above 79. So none of them were 85 years of old. So option D is the correct answer to this question.